Hi everyone, it's Christy Mesemer with Christy's Creations featuring Couture. And today I'm going to do a quick video just to show you how to do a project on canvas. It's real simple, it's real affordable, and it's very fun. So I've got this transfer. I'm sorry it's a mirror image reverse. Can't figure out how to fix that for you on this video, but it says she believed she could, so she did. Brand new transfer. So I'll show you what you do. You take it out of the packaging. And if you're like me, you take a whiff, because I love the smell of vinyl. It's a problem. I've had this weird scent love my whole life, I think. I've loved the smell of vinyl. Okay, so it's adhesive and it's on the backing. So you just kind of roll the corner to get it started. And see, I rolled it and now it's sticky. I'm going to peel it up. Now, since this is the first time I've used this transfer, I am going to fuzz it up. And that means I've got this towel over here. It looks dirty, but it's actually clean. It's just stained. It's just an old towel. So I'm going to place the transfer right on the towel and just get it kind of a little less sticky, because when you're working with a brand new transfer, it's super duper sticky, and you don't want it to get so sticky that it's impossible to work with. So we fuzz it up a little bit, and we just do it one time, and then we take it over to our canvas. And this is an 11 by 14 canvas, and so this works perfectly on this size. So I'm just going to center it, just eyeball it, and then you smooth it out. And really the only areas that are critical are where the design is, because that's where our screens are, and that's where we're going to transfer our paste color through the screen. That's why we call it transfer. So I've got it where the air bubbles are out. And if you feel like it's not centered, you can just peel it up and reposition it, no problem. So because it's canvas, there's this space back here, and that makes it a little bit less firm when you're pressing against it with the chalk paste and the squeegee. So I'm gonna place a book back here just to give me a little bit more support. So when I press down on it, it works good. Now my book is a little bit smaller than my space, so I'm gonna shift it a little bit as I'm working. Okay, so I have got three pretty colors here. I've got aqua, peachy, and orchid. I think they are a nice combination. So I am going to do, I'm going to do most of it in one color, and then I'm going to highlight believed, could, and did. And I'm going to do those in a separate color. So what I'll do is get my colors ready to go. I think I'll save the peachy for maybe I'm thinking about doing some flowers around the border just to make it a little bit more festive. So when you open up a jar of paste, you want to give it a quick stir and make sure it's the right consistency. This one is a little bit on the thick side. It's a little bit gooier than I want. So I'm going to take a spray bottle and just give it a quick squirt. And just a little bit of water, and then, you know, if I need to add more, I can add more, but you can't take it out. So I just give it one squirt at a time, give it a stir, and I think that's all this one needed. It just needed a little bit more water. And I'm using a plastic spatula, but you can use a popsicle stick, or you can use a plastic knife, just something to give it a stir and get it the consistency that you want. So that one is good to go. Now I'm going to check my orchid. It sounds a little crusty. Hopefully, oh yeah, that looks really dried out. I'm going to give it a couple squirts over here. And hopefully, oh boy, I don't know if this one's going to be revivable right now. No, I don't think so. So I'm going to go grab another orchid real quick. My apologies. Should have had that prepared on the front end, but I didn't. But I just happen to have an orchid right here. So that works out great. And in the meantime, if I spray a bunch of water in here, I'll probably be able to revive it. I just won't be able to revive it in time for this video. So we'll give it the water, we'll put it over there, and we'll try later to get it rejuvenated so that we can use all that paste, because I don't like to waste, you know. So this is a brand new paste, and it has a thicker whipped kind of consistency, but that's okay. It's the perfect amount of moisture. It just needs a stir, just to get it a little bit thinner. It doesn't need any water because it's brand new. All right, so let me get these crumbs off of my project. And I'm gonna work rather quickly because we don't want it to dry. I'm also gonna turn off my ceiling fan because that is gonna make it dry too quick. Uh-oh, 1, 2. Okay, there we go, got it turned off. Ceiling fans are tricky sometimes. All right, so we're gonna do the Believed in purple. Oh boy. There's my dog, that's Jake, he says hello. So, we take a little bit of paste, we put it on our squeegee. Oh, Jake, please don't talk right now. Okay. So you just cover it up. Now I kind of know how much paste to put on my squeegee because I've been doing this for almost a year now, but it's okay if you put too much because you're just going to scrape it off and put it right back in your jar. Put your excess right back in your jar so you don't waste. And I am actually going to peel this section up before it dries on me because we don't want it to dry. If it dries, then it won't transfer through. So we peel it up, and when you're working with your transfer, you want to peel it, you don't want to use the corners, you want to peel up and down and side to side. Doesn't that look pretty? All right, so let me hit this with a quick blow dry. Oops, my blow dryer is not plugged in. I'm just having all kinds of technical difficulties today, aren't I? That's just the story of my life, right? Okay, so let's see, put this in here. Now we'll blow dry it. And that's it, it's quick. So now it's dry, and I'll just place this back. I'm not gonna press it down or anything, but I am gonna press this area down on my she because I want my screen to be pressed down again. So we're doing the she in the aqua. It's just so therapeutic, chalk pasting is. It's so fun because you get to create a masterpiece, and it's so easy. Really, anyone can do it, and you don't even have to worry because if you mess up, you can fix it. She could, I'm gonna do it in purple. It's a little bit trickier to fix a mistake on canvas, and I think I just made a mistake actually. I think I got some of the purple onto the she that I didn't really want, but it's fine. It's artistic, right? A little blend. Okay, so we're gonna do in the turquoise or the aqua. The color names kind of run together in my brain. There's 35 maybe now, or there used to be at one point there were 38. They changed them a good bit, so. But there's a good selection of colors either way. So you scrape it on, you smear it on, and then what you do is you take your squeegee and you scoop it up, and then you smear it back in your jar. Scoop. See, what you're doing is pressing it through the screen. And then let's do the did really quick, and then we'll peel it all off. And this word is kind of off my book, so it's not, so it's kind of wobbly, but it's okay. I'm still getting it pressed good. And you can see some little stripes, and I'm trying to wipe those stripes off, because if I don't get them evened out, then they might show up on my art, which might bother some people. It would kind of bother me a little bit. All right, so we're gonna peel it off, and you gotta work kind of quickly so it doesn't dry. Peel it up. And voila! Now see, I got a little chalk paste over here. No big deal, I'm gonna wipe that off. So I take my now used dirty transfer, and I'm just gonna place it upside down in a bath of water. When you're working with multiple transfers or even one transfer, there's a couple little tricks. You wanna make sure you don't stretch it from the corner, and you wanna make sure that you don't get it stuck to itself. That's another reason we do the fuzzing in the beginning, so it's a little bit less sticky. But if it gets stuck onto itself, it's fixable. You just want to run it in some cold water and then very gently peel it apart. But the transfers can get damaged if they get stuck to each other. So in a bowl of water like this, they're not going to stick because the water is going to keep them separate. But so you can put a bunch of transfers into the water together and it's usually fine. So let me show you how to clean off this little boo-boo I have here. Then I'll show you how to clean the transfer, and then we'll be good to go. So you just take this as a Clorox wipe, and I smeared it off, and then I take another clean section of the Clorox wipe, and it's all cleaned off. And I got a spot up here too. And that's a spot, but that looks like it was just a dirty spot on my canvas, which is unfortunate, but oh well. Maybe I'll cover it up with a flower or something. So there's my simple, quick art. Look, I'm at 11 minutes and I'm done. Well, I'm not done because I'm gonna add some flowers, but you get the idea. Let's see here. Let me show you some other things. I'll leave those out because I'm gonna do the flowers. So I've got my, let me turn this. Okay, so now I have my transfer all rinsed off, but there's still paste on it. So I'm going to place it here. And then I've got a damp washcloth, and I'm just going to wipe it on the top. And if you see a little bit of discoloration, some of the darker pastes have a stronger pigment, and they might stain the top of your vinyl and your transfer a little bit. That's okay. As long as you get the screen part cleaned out, that's the only thing that's going to matter, because the other is just aesthetic, and you're not going to display your transfer or anything, so it doesn't matter if it gets a little stained on it. And don't be surprised, because those darker colors do stain. So now I've got the sticky side up, and I'm coming back over and just wiping it off real good. And that's it. Now I'll just leave it upside down to dry, and see, it's already real sticky, even damp. And then I'll put it back once it's dry. You'll put your backing, and just place it. It's easier to place the backing on top of the transfer when it's upside down versus the other direction when you have like this, like that, and you place transfer down. It's just a little bit more difficult. So you line up your corners, you place it down, and then you're good to go. It's also handy if you take a Sharpie before you peel the transfer off and you write back. She believed she could, so that you know that this is the backing for this particular piece, so it matches up. And that is it. I'm gonna do some flowers, just because it's fun, you know, jazz it up a little bit. This particular sign is gonna go in my daughter's room. So I've got a bunch of these fun little flowers. I figure why not? Let's give it a little more color and a little more design. So you just smear it on, and then you scoop it off. Uh-oh, this is stuck to my arm. Move that over here so my arm doesn't get stuck on it again. So we take our squeegee and we can, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Oopsies, so sorry. So take our squeegee and we scoop it up. And then we take our squeegee and we scoop up the excess, wipe it in the jar, peel off our flower, and we've got some pretty corner elements. I don't know if it's a dimension. Okay, now I got a little smear over here. So I'm just gonna take my washcloth. You can use a Clorox wipe like I did earlier, or you can use just a damp towel, washcloth, whatever you got. I like to keep a bunch of towels on hand and a bunch of washcloths around because it just makes it easy to work clean, and that's really why, yeah. Okay, so another flower in this corner. And I've got my book shifted so it's kind of helping me support it a little bit. And I'll do the aqua on this corner. I might not even use the peachy on this project. I like to get my pastes kind of lined up and out and ready when I'm working. And then sometimes I just call an audible and change up what I thought I was going to do. And then sometimes, you know, you might say, I don't like that flower. You can wipe it off. That is the glory of chalking. All right, so let me do these other 4 corners, and then I think I'll be done. I think I'll do this flower. And I'll do the orchid down here. So therapeutic. It's just so fun and so easy. All right, we'll scrape that off, peel it off, put it in the water, and then I've got one more corner. And then we will have some new art for my daughter's room. Let's see if she notices when she comes home from camp. See, I'm just getting those air bubbles out, doing my aqua down here. A little bit more, because you can wipe off any excess, so it's just easier to work with. But see how I'm working pretty quickly? And if you're a sloppy worker, which I tend to be pretty sloppy myself, that's okay. It's just chalk paste, it wipes right off. So there we have it. Now this, while it's wet, will smear. But if we take it with the blow dryer, like we did earlier, you know what, before I blow this dry, I'm gonna take my squeegee and my spatulas and just put them right back in this bucket of water and close up my paste, because if I use my blow dryer around my paste, I don't want it to dry out my paste. We saw what happens when your paste is dried out and you can't really use it that well. They are revivable, but who wants to place the extra effort if you can avoid it? So I got some paste on my fingers. I'm just gonna rinse them off, dry them off. And now we're gonna blow this dry. I'm also gonna clean off my table with it. All right, so that's that. And look, you can touch it and it's dry and it won't come off. But if you make a mistake and you wanna clean it off, you just use a damp, either a Clark's wipe or a damp washcloth. So that's it. Simple, fun, beautiful. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you later.